So we've got spaghetti, we've got chili, we've got fresh tomatoes, we've got anchovies. This is a really simple, beautiful spaghetti pasta. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, this is a nice, quick, easy pasta to get together and delicious. So in there I've got oil. I'm using sunflower oil. Use a different oil if you want, about 3 tablespoons. Dried red chili. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. You could be using chili flakes if you wanted. 1 cup of onion. 1 tablespoon of garlic. We are on an above medium heat. We're gonna go, just put that on now, we're gonna go for 4 minutes. Fabulous. Next up, we're gonna drop in 3 cups of fresh tomatoes. Salt, pepper, about a tablespoon of dried oregano or oregano. We're now going to cook this for 6 maybe minutes. We really want to cook those tomatoes right down. So we're still going, but I just wanted to show you the anchovies that we're using. This Cento, I actually really like this brand. It's really good. I just wanted to show it to you before I opened it up. There's 2 ounces there, or 56 grams. The whole lot's going to go in. So you can see our tomatoes are mushing just like that, super happy. So let's get those anchovies and the oil that they come in, the whole lot in there. And we're just going to cook for another 2 minutes. Again, we're on a fairly vibrantly high heat. Fabulous. Next up, some spaghetti. I've got it cooked here, in it goes. We're going to just throw this around 3 or 4 minutes, coating the spaghetti and heating it up. This spaghetti is actually cold, so I'm going to be heating it up for 3 or 4 minutes. Job done. Really simple, delicious. And there you go, anchovies, nice and salty, the chili, fabulous, the fresh tomatoes, really simple, lovely, easy little spag. We've got bacon, we've got a really beautiful creamy mushroom sauce, pasta, cheese in the oven, delicious. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So what we have here is 250 grams of fresh mushrooms, or about 3 cups in total. Chopped it up quite small. And here I've got 16 ounces or a pound of bacon. Now this is a very fatty, streaky bacon, so what I'm going to do is we're going to cook this first, render it out, because we're going to get a lot of unwanted fat from that bacon right there. So I've got my bacon in there. It's just the bacon. I didn't add any fat in there, because what we're trying to do is actually get rid of fat. Like I say, you can see there's a lot of white there as opposed to the pink of the meat. So I'm going to cook this for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it really will. And we're probably going to get maybe half a cup of fat from this. I mean, I'm using this type of bacon. If you've got a decent bacon, it's not going to produce the same amount of fat. You can get it as crispy as you like. Okay, off goes the heat. Now I told you that was fatty. Look at that. That is a ridiculous amount. So what I'm going to do is separate the fat or the oil from the bacon. And I've kind of got it like there, that kind of crispiness. You could do it a bit more if you wanted. So just want to show you exactly how much come out. That is like a cup, over a cup in fact. And there's our bacon there. So you can use that for something else if you want, or discard it. That's up to you, but we certainly don't want that amount in this dish. So I've got a medium-sized pan here, and in there I've got 2 tablespoons of butter that we're very slowly going to melt down. Now what I like to do, because we're going to be cooking some onions and stuff, is add just a little bit of olive oil. And that kind of helps or prevents the butter from burning. So nice and low. Let's just sort of melt that down. I'll be back in a minute or so. So we're going to take half a cup of onion and drop that in. Small amount of garlic, so a couple of teaspoons maybe, heaped teaspoon, not a lot. And then a teaspoon each salt, pepper, and today I'm using some dried thyme. I mean, you can change that if you want to, you know, a different herb or spice. Right, let's go now for about 4 minutes. And you can see it's nice and gentle. So the onions and garlic are coming on just nicely. We're now going to add in that 3 cups or 250 grams of chopped mushrooms. Now look, I've cut them like that. I mean, you can cut them how you like really, because we're going to blend the whole thing together to make a really beautiful creamy sauce. Okay, about another 4 to 5 minutes, again nice and gentle. Let's cook those mushrooms down with the onions and the garlic. Looking fabulous, and we've got a little bit of moisture from the mushrooms as they cook down. I've got here 2 tablespoons of flour. That's a regular wheat plain flour, and we really need to be stirring all the time now. Again, keep it nice and low, and we're going to go now for about 4 minutes of just moving it around. We need to cook that flour out, otherwise you're going to get a really powdery, floury, horrible taste in the sauce. So don't skip this at all. Wonderful stuff. But we're going to add milk now. I'm using a full fat milk, cow's milk, and we're going to start off by adding in 2 cups. I've measured it out here. We're going to work that in, and then we're going to be adding cup by cup. We're kind of going to need to kind of eyeball it at the moment, but as the heat goes through that and the milk gets hot or warm, it will thicken with the flour that we've added. So keep stirring. I'll be back just in maybe 90 seconds. So you can see that's really super thick. So let's now add 1 more cup of milk. We're going to go again. So that's 3 cups of milk so far. And again, keep stirring for maybe 1 minute or so, and it will thicken. And we'll just get it to the consistency that we're happy with. Thickening nicely. So we're now adding 1 more cup of milk. So that's 4 cups of milk to the 2 tablespoons of flour. Now that might be enough now, but we'll check it out. Let it heat up, and then we'll see. We might add 1 more cup, but let's just eyeball it. Perfect. So off goes the heat. That's a good consistency for me. So 4 cups of milk to 2 tablespoons of flour. That's a lovely, lovely consistency. Now what you've got there is a beautiful mushroom sauce ready to go. Now, if you want, you can liquidize it, which is what we're going to do to make it super, super creamy. Okay, so you can see that our sauce has been liquidized there. Really beautifully smooth and lovely. Now what we're going to do, the heat's on again, nice and low. I've got 1 cup of cheddar cheese, and I'm using quite a sharp cheddar cheese. I'm going to drop that in. You could change this cheese if you want, maybe some Parmesan or something if you wanted. And then we've got our bacon, our crispy bacon that you saw earlier that we rendered down. In that goes, and we're just going to, with the heat on, just go for 2 to 3 minutes, and our sauce is now complete. So our sauce is complete. Now, let's not look at pasta yet. Let's look at the container. I'm using glass. You can use metal. You can use ceramic, as long as it can go in an oven. And also have your oven on now. Get your oven on. You need a preheated oven, and get it as hot as you can. Everything here is cooked. We're just bringing it together. So I'm using penne pasta. Any pasta works. You can use macaroni. You can use farfalle. You can use anything you want. You can see that's cooked and laid in there. Very simply, we're going to pour our sauce over and give it a little mix. So, gave that a little mix as well, just very roughly. We're going to get some more of that cheddar. Well, you can use cheddar if you want. A couple of cups here, I think. But you can be as, generous as you want with the cheese. Oh, there it goes. So what we're going to do, you know what we're looking for here. We're just going to go into the oven. I want to kind of brown that cheese off a little bit and get it nice. So really hot oven. I think my oven goes up to like 275 or something. So I'm going to get it really, really, really hot. Bung it in, middle shelf, and it's going to go in just for like 8 to 10 minutes. All ovens are different, but yeah, you know what we're going for, don't you? Okay, there you go, beautiful. Out the oven. That was like 10 minutes in my oven. Now, I just put the bottom of my oven on, not the top. Put the top on if you want, but then keep your eye on it because it will really brown and even burn very quickly. That is delicious. Hope you enjoy that. Bacon, spinach, garlic, cream, pasta. Lovely. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So here I've got some cream. I've got 250 ml of cream, or a couple of cups of cream. Now I'm using a thick cream. You can use a thick or thin cream. It will make no difference whatsoever. 1 cup of bell peppers, just to add an additional little bit of color. A tablespoon of garlic. 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. Couple of tablespoons of some nice freshly grated Parmesan cheese. A cup of onions. And here I've got bacon. I've got 6 rashers of bacon, or just over a cup. And then here the spinach. There's 2 cups in total of cooked spinach. I've just cooked that fresh. I'll show you that just in a moment. And get your pasta ready because we're really going to concentrate on the sauce. Today I'm using some penne, and there's 3 cups worth of cooked pasta there. Let's get moving. Okay, so you're going to need a wok, skillet or something like that. In there I've got a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. I've just put the heat on. The heat's on above medium. We're going to drop in the bacon, 6 rashers of bacon, which I've cut fairly chunky, as you can see. We're going to throw that around in the pan for about 4 to 5 minutes. Want to get that cooked. Now, if you want, you can get it really crispy or under. That's up to you. I'll be back when this is done. So look, I'm happy about here, about 4 minutes. If you want, go a bit longer and get it a bit more crispy. Now I'm going to add in 1 cup of onion, 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic. I'm going to go for about another 2 to 3 minutes. So I've been keeping this moving all the time. What a wonderful aroma. Okay, next up we're going to add in 2 cups of cooked spinach. To that I'm going to add salt. Don't go crazy with salt because your bacon's quite salty, I presume. Black pepper. Couple of nice pinches of that. We can add in a couple of teaspoons of the dried oregano, or oregano as some of you guys say in the States. And again, about another 3 minutes or so. Let's keep this moving, get some lovely flavor now onto that spinach. And we are now at the final stage. Going to drop in those bell peppers cut nice and small. Like I say, that was just optional, to be honest. Nice little bit of color in there, a few vitamins. Now we're going to go in with the cream. Like I say, thick or thin will make no difference at all. It's going to work out the same. There's 250 ml here. A couple of tablespoons of beautiful grated Parmesan cheese. We're going to go for another 2 minutes, stirring all the time on this lively-ish heat. And that is fabulous. Look at that, really good. Okay, pasta time. I'm going to put my pasta in. You can put it on if you want. If you're using spaghetti or something, you might want to put this sauce on top, tagliatelle or something like that. But this penne is going to go in, and I'm going to run the heat through this pasta and get that sauce in, on and around my penne for about, just a couple of minutes, and then it's done. It's beautiful. Well done, everyone. Okay, and there you go. Just pop that on a plate there, nice bowl, ready to serve. That'll probably do about 2 people, I think. That looks all right, doesn't it? So we've got some cannelloni today with beef. It takes a little while, this, because we've got to make the beef, we've got to stuff the tubes, we've got to make a tomato sauce, we've got to make a white sauce, and then we've got to cook it. So it does take a little while, but is it worth it? Oh, yes. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So we're going to start off with the meat sauce. So what I've got here is some beautiful ground beef. I mean, that's a freshly ground. Didn't buy it like that. Got it and ground it up. There's about 4 cups there in total. 2 cups of tomato paste, or actually 270 grams. I know that because it's 2 of those little kind of Tetra Pak things. 2 cups of onion cut nice and small. A tablespoon of garlic. 2 teaspoons of oregano or oregano, whatever you call that. Oil, salt, pepper. Let's go. So skillet, frying pan, whatever you like. In there I've got 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using sunflower oil. You can change that if you want. Medium heat. We're going to drop in the 2 cups of onion cut small, the tablespoon of garlic, salt, black pepper. I'm going to go for about 4 minutes. So just a few minutes there to bring that together and get it on its way. We're now going to add in our ground beef, like I say, which is really beautiful, the one I'm using today. Stay on a medium heat. We're now going to go for about 6 or 7 minutes, and we're going to be crunching it down, as you can see, pushing it down there and stirring fairly often. Seven or so minutes there. You can see that it's changed color pretty much all the way through. It's looking great. Next up, we're going to drop in that tomato paste, 2 cups of that, roughly, or if you want it exact, it's 270 grams. The oregano. If you want, get some fresh basil in here, or basil. But I'm just going with that. And now we're going to go for another 5 minutes or so. And again, we're going to be stirring pretty much all of the time here. And then we've done it. We've got a really simple meat sauce, which is not super wet. You know, you want it kind of fairly dry if you're making sort of a lasagna or cannelloni. Okay, off goes the heat. Just check that for salt and pepper. But there we go, we've got a nice, decent, quick, simple meat sauce there. Okay, so there's our meat sauce. We can move on to the next step. So I'm going to go back in with the same pan. No need to clean it. I've got a couple of tablespoons of oil in there. Again, I'm using sunflower. Change that if you want. Just half a cup of onion, sliced this time. Chop it if you want. 2 teaspoons of garlic, salt, black pepper to taste, and we're going to go medium heat, 4 minutes. Very simply, we're now going to add 1 can of tomatoes. In they go. Now these were a whole plum tomato. I just roughly chopped it with my hand. A teaspoon, this time I'm using basil or basil, whatever you call that, dried. 400 ml can. I think, is that like 13, 14 fluid ounces, you say in America? Not sure. Roughly like that, I think. Okay, medium heat, 5 minutes. Give it a stir every now and then. Okay, off goes the heat. Nice, quick, easy little tomato sauce. So meat sauce is done, tomato sauce is done. We've got to do a white sauce next. So before we jump into the white sauce that we're going to be making, let's just take a look at our cannelloni. Now this is a no cook, so I don't have to boil this first, which makes it much easier to stuff. If you've got a kind of, it's like you've got a little jellyfish or squid that you're trying to stuff otherwise. These ones, you stuff them, they're hard, like uncooked, then you put them in the tray, and then they cook in the tray. Much easier. I love that. Same with lasagna sheets as well. I always use this. Not endorsing this brand. In fact, I've never used this brand before. I just bought it. But yeah, any brand, most companies now do a no-cook pasta that you can use. So I'm back in the same pan. I mean, basically just so you can see clearly. In there I've got 2 tablespoons of butter that I've melted and 2 tablespoons of plain wheat flour. We are on a very low heat, like a kind of simmery sort of heat. You could be doing this in a little saucepan if you want, but like I say, just so you can see what's happening here a bit clearer than a little pan. What we're going to do is stir and stir and stir for about 4 minutes or so. We want to cook that flour in the butter. We're going to make a really simple white sauce here, very simple. Okay, so you can see that it's changed color slightly. We're going to add a little bit of salt. We're going to add a little bit of nutmeg, just a little pinch or 2 of nutmeg. Now you need to cook this so that it kind of gets rid of that flour taste. You know, you don't want a floury kind of taste in there. Now milk, 700 ml milk. We're going to pour it all in. We're going to stay on this nice low heat, and we're going to stir and stir and stir, and it will thicken. Maybe about 3 or 4 minutes. So it's all about stirring, 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 and keeping it low. We've got ourselves a nice sauce there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some cheese to this, like a couple of cups of grated mozzarella or cheddar or parmesan, up to you. Just get it in there. Heat off, little mix. Nice little sauce there, beautiful. So white sauce is done. Tomato sauce is done. Meat sauce is done. You've seen the pasta that we're using. Look at that, beautiful. Let's get it all together. Okay, there you go. Look, you can see that I've just stuffed them. I didn't want to show you how to do it. I'm sure you know how to do it. Get a teaspoon, use your finger, whatever. Get it in there nice and tight. Beautiful stuff. Let's move on. Okay, so I'm using glass. You can use metal, you can use ceramic. It's up to you, as long as it can go in the oven. Preheat your oven at 200. I'll leave some timings downstairs in the text. We say 200. I think in America you say something different, but there you go. Look, what we're going to do is we're going to pop our filled pasta in. So just one layer of that. We're now going to take our tomato sauce and we're going to get that on. Now some people would put a layer of tomato at the bottom, but because of the amount of white sauce we're using here, which is quite a lot more than this, it's going to work out just beautifully. And then white sauce time. So our white sauce goes on there, like so. And again, we're going to spread that out. So I've just put 200 grams there, which I think is about 7 ounces. I'm not very good with the ounces and stuff, but yeah, 200 grams of cheese. Now I've used about, just going to put a little bit of oregano on the top as a signature. I've used a cheddar, but you can use mozzarella, parmesan, a mixture of everything that you like. I've got on there 3 different types of cheddar, but you could just use one single one if you want. Okay, that's going to go in your oven at 200. I mean, read the packet because everything's cooked in there apart from the pasta. So for me, that's going to go in for about 10, 11 minutes or so. You know what we're looking for. Beautiful crispiness, golden brown. Yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, there you go. That was about 12 minutes in my oven. And yeah, 200 C is like 392 F. That's what I found out. But that is absolutely delicious. Really, really beautiful. Fusilli pasta I'm using today with cauliflower in a nice white sauce. So a kind of cauliflower mac and cheesy sort of thing. It's very, very simple. The process of making the sauce is really, really easy. As you can see, it looks wonderful. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So on the left, you can see I've got my cauliflower. Cut that up, trimmed it, and then boiled it away. So it's cooked there. You can see it's still steaming slightly. And then to the right, I've got my pasta. I'm using fusilli. You can use any pasta that you want. I've got slightly more cauliflower than I have pasta, as you can see, but it's very, very near. So we're on a low heat. I've got 4 tablespoons of butter that I'm just melting in there. We're going to add to that 4 tablespoons of plain flour. And we're going to cook this nice and low. Don't have it up high at all. We're going to cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes, stirring all the time. That's going to turn into a nice kind of shortbready, biscuity kind of flavour. Stir, stir, stir. And very, very important. Otherwise, if you don't get it to that stage, you're going to end up with a real kind of floury tasting sauce, which we don't want. And that's beautiful. Now you can actually get some of that and taste it. And the flourness has gone away. We're going to add a little pinch of nutmeg, a little pinch of salt. We can do this to taste, and black pepper. And then I'm going to add now 700 ml of milk. Keep it low still. Looks super thin right now. As the milk heats up, it's going to thicken, but just keep stirring now, maybe for another 2 to 3 minutes. Let it do its thing. See, check that out. Perfect. Really good. Now I'm going to add some cheese. I'm going to add a cup of mozzarella. If you want, you could be using cheddar or something. And also I've got half a cup here of cream cheese, like, you know, a Philadelphia cheese. And just for 2 more minutes, stir that in. That Philly cheese is going to melt down. And we've got a really fantastic, beautiful, cheesy cream sauce ready. So you can see that I've got my pasta and my cauliflower in a mixing bowl, and I've kind of already given it a little mix. What I like to do is put the sauce in the mixing bowl, give it a really good mix. You could do it in the container that we're going to put in the oven, but I find this just a little bit better. So yeah, if you wanted, you could have mixed it in the oven tray that you're going to be using, but like I say, I think mixing bowl gives it a much better mix. Anyway, glass. I'm using glass, ceramic, metal. As long as it can go in the oven, you're good. So get your oven on, get it preheated, maximum heat. Everything's cooked here. We're just bringing it together. What we're going to do now is get some cheese on the top here. I've got a mixture of 3 different types of cheese. You could just use cheddar or mozzarella. I've got some cheddar here, some Monterey, and I've got some other cheese which has got a little bit of jalapeno in it, but just go with whatever you fancy. Get some Parmesan on the top here if you wanted. There's about 200 grams there of cheese. So preheated oven. Don't put this in a cold oven. Make sure your oven's really hot. Get it in. It's probably going to be about 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Really hot oven. Fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep safe, keep well. See you soon. Lots of love. Okay, chicken, cream sauce, pasta, lovely stuff. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So you can use any pasta you want. I'm using this tagliatelle today. There's about 4 cups there cooked, so get your pasta cooked, up to you. Chicken, 2 cups roughly. I'm using breast chicken. You could use thigh or something like that. No skin, no bone. I've cubed it, slice it if you want. 1 cup of onion, 1 cup of green peas. These were a frozen garden pea. I just put them in some water and just sort of let them sit there for a couple of minutes. 2 cups here of cream. Now I'm using a thick cream. It makes no difference if you use thick or thin. I get a lot of emails about that. So it will make no difference whatsoever. A teaspoon of oregano or oregano, whatever you say, and a nice tablespoon, maybe slightly more of garlic. I want a lot of garlic in this one. Let's get moving. Okay, here we go. So pan is on above medium heat. You want some oil in there. I've got a couple of tablespoons of oil in there. I'm using avocado oil today, but use any oil that you want. We're going to drop in the 1 cup of onion, the 2 cups of the chicken, and then we're going to go with a little bit of salt and black pepper, and then we're going to just fry this around for about 4 minutes on and above medium heat. We'll have this done in absolutely no time. Next up, we're going to add that tablespoon of garlic, or maybe just a bit over for me this lot is, but that's how I want it. Let's get those peas in. Like I say, just stuck them in some water. Teaspoon only of oregano or oregano. Again, we're going to go for about another 4 minutes on this lively heat, stirring often. We're nearly there, nearly done this. Fabulous stuff. Next up, we're going to grab that 2 cups of cream. Like I said, I'm using a thick cream. Thin cream will also work. In the UK, we call thin cream single cream, and this would be double cream. You can then add some water, stock, or the water from the pasta. About 100 ml goes in there. Keep on this lively heat. Keep stirring. I'll see you in 2 minutes only. Just a couple of minutes here. Really lovely. If you want, stick some Parmesan cheese in there if you want. In goes my pasta. About 4 cups of this tagliatelle. We're going to work this in for about 2 to 3 minutes with the heat on. Then we're ready to serve. Check it for salt, check it for pepper. It's great for me. Delicious stuff. Well done, everyone. Well done. So I've just stuck a little bit of chopped parsley on the top of mine, but if you, like I said, if you want a bit of Parmesan cheese in there, it works really nicely. That's a really simple, beautiful, easy cream sauce chicken pasta. All right, not going to keep you long today. Another what I call a midweek pasta. This one's very, very fast. Beautiful cream sauce, garlic, onions, ham, pasta of your choice. It's going to take no time at all. This is super quick. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So I've got here 3 cups of cooked pasta. I'm using fusilli. Of course, you can use any pasta you want. 2 cups of cream. That's a fresh cream, single cream. You can use runny or thick cream. Makes no difference. 1 cup of ham. That's actually 140 grams if you're interested. Just slice that up. About half a cup of onion, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, 2 teaspoons oregano, and just 2 large cloves of garlic. So you're going to need a skillet, pan, or like me, this kind of little woky type thing. In there I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We're on just an above medium heat. I'm going to drop in that little bit of onion and a little bit of garlic. Salt and black pepper. And we're going to go just for about 3 minutes. Fabulous. Next up, we're going to drop in a couple of teaspoons of dried oregano, or if you want, use some other dried herb. Then the ham, 1 cup of ham. Now if you want, you could get some mushrooms in here, some olives. Up to you really, isn't it? You can add a few other different bits and pieces. 2 minutes, stirring all the time. We're nearly done, believe it or not. Okay, 2 cups of cream, in that goes. Like I say, today I'm using a single cream, what we call in the UK, or a light runny cream maybe. I don't know what you call it in America. You have different names for your cream. A couple of tablespoons of Parmesan and our cooked pasta of choice. I'm going with fusilli. 3 minutes, keep it moving all the time. You've done it. Fabulous, easy, creamy pasta with ham. And there you go, job done. Super, super fast, super easy, super delicious. I hope you enjoy that. Okay, really simple, easy pasta today. We've got mushrooms, cream, cheese, pasta of your choice, garlic, couple of herbs, delicious. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So mushrooms here, there's 250 grams there, which is about 3 cups, white mushrooms, fresh. I cut them, they're fairly thick actually, but cut them how you want, dice them up even. Pasta, the pasta that I'm using today, penne, again, roughly equal parts in volume, about 3 cups. 2 cups of cream here. Now I always get loads of questions about this. This is a thick cooking cream. It doesn't matter if you use thick or thin cream. It's gonna work out the same. I've got some mozzarella there. You could use cheddar or Parmesan, but I want to get a couple of cups in there of, well, it's just over about 1.5 cups actually, of cheese in there to give it some creaminess. I've got 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 teaspoons of sweet paprika, cup of onion, and about 3 cloves of garlic. Let's get moving. So my pan is there. I've got some olive oil in there. You can use a different oil if you want. I've got about 3 tablespoons. We're going to start by dropping in the onion, the garlic. I'm going to add some salt and pepper now. On and above medium heat, just put that on. We're going to go for 3 minutes. Fabulous. Let's drop in the mushrooms. Like I say, slice mine up like so. Chop them nice and small if you want, or make them bigger, entirely up to you. We're going to drop in oregano and paprika. That's what I'm using, but you know, change that around if you want to something else, some other herbs and spices. And again, 3 to 4 minutes just to get these mushrooms on their way. Fabulous. But next up, we're going to add in our cream. Like I say, 250 ml of cream, couple of cups roughly. And like I said, this is a thick cooking cream, but thin cream also works the same. I'm going to add a little bit of water, like 100 ml of water. And we're going to go here for another 3 minutes, but this time stirring constantly. Fabulous. Now I added water. Now first of all, I didn't add water because I had thick cream. If I had thin cream, I would have still added some water. And I use water, but you could have used a stock, like a chicken stock or a vegetable stock, or even some white wine. That's up to you. We're now going to drop in the cheese. I'm going for mozzarella. Going to get that in there. Give it a quick mix. Cheddar and Parmesan also, of course, works really well. Then we're going to go with our pasta. Penne is what I'm using. 3 more minutes, stirring, 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 getting that sauce in, on and around our pasta. We've done it. Beautiful. Hello, how you doing? Look, going to make what I call a kind of midweek quick pasta. We've got chicken, we've got tomatoes. I'm using tagliatelle. You can use any pasta you want. I've got a little bit of chili in mine to spice it up. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So any pasta you want, you can use in this one. I'm using this green or spinach tagliatelle. There's about 4 cups there. Use something else, penne, fusilli. It's just up to you what you want. Get that cooked and ready. 2 cups of chicken. I'm using chicken breast, no skin, no bone. Cut it into kind of little kind of cubey sort of shapes. 1 can of tomatoes. That's a 400 ml can. I think that's like, is that like 14 fluid ounces or something? You know, a regular size can. That was a whole plum tomato. I just crushed it up with my hand. A tablespoon of garlic. 1 cup of onions, teaspoon of chili powder, and oregano, or oregano as some of you call that. Let's get moving. Really easy, this one. So in my skillet or wok type thing, I've got some oil. I'm using a corn oil today, about 2 tablespoons. Like I said, this is super easy. Here we go. The onion goes in. By the way, I've just put the heat on. It's on fairly high. 1 cup of onion, 2 cups of the chicken. 1 tablespoon of garlic. Salt. Black pepper. About 4 minutes on this lively heat, stirring fairly often. So we've got a nice bit of colour there with this high heat on the chicken. We're now going to add in, well, this is what I'm adding. I'm adding oregano and chili powder, but you could add something different if you want. Very quick little mix. And then very simply, we're going to grab that 1 can of tomatoes. We're going to drop that in. We're now going to go from this high heat to a medium heat, and we're going to let it go for 5 to 6 minutes. Super. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat up high again. That's looking absolutely wonderful, really nice and easy. Now I'm going to drop my pasta in. You don't have to, you can serve this on. And like I say, I'm using this tagliatelle today. Use something different if you want. Couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. We're just going to be stirring this pasta into the sauce. Job done. Check it for salt. It's good for me. Delicious. Okay, there you go. Really, really simple. If you want a bit of Parmesan cheese on that, or some kind of fresh basil or fresh parsley, I'm keeping it nice and easy. Very simple. Chicken, bit spicy, tomato, pasta. Hope you enjoy that. Keep safe, keep well. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. How you doing? So back with another what I call a midweek easy pasta. Today we've got mushroom, broccoli, tomatoes, garlic and cream. Lovely. Easy. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. So I've got some mushrooms there, fresh mushrooms. There's 250 grams there. That's like kind of one of those plastic punnet type things they come in. Slice them up. 2 cups of broccoli. 1 can of tomatoes. That was a whole plum tomato. I've crushed that up roughly with my hand. When I say a regular size can, I mean a 400 ml, you know, that one. Okay, 2 teaspoons of oregano, dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 cup there of cream. I'm using thick cream. It makes no difference if you use thick or thin. It will work out exactly the same. 1 cup of onion, and then I've got some black olives. I don't know, 5 or 6 black olives, taking the stones out. Let's get moving. So in there I've got 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using a olive oil. Use something different if you want. 1 cup of the onion goes straight in, as does the garlic, tablespoon of chopped garlic. And I'm going to get those olives in now to get them moving. We're on a slightly above medium heat and we're going to go for about 3 minutes. Now, you need to get your pasta cooked. I'm not going to talk about pasta very much. I'm using 4 cups in total of a fusilli pasta. You can use any type of pasta that you want, but yeah, get that ready and give this a stir every now and then. So of course the olives are optional, and if you're interested, these are a Kalamata type of olive. I love them. We're going to go with our broccoli. In that goes. You can see I've kind of cut it into small kind of bite-sized pieces. We're now going to add salt and black pepper, and we're going to let this go for another 3 minutes. Super fab. Here we go with the mushrooms. 250 grams. It's like 3 cups, but they're going to cook right down. We may even get a little bit of moisture from them. Be back again in about 3 minutes. Keep it moving, this one. So you can see that the mushrooms have reduced down, and you can hear that they're giving out some moisture. We're now going to go in with that 2 teaspoons of oregano, or oregano, as my American friends call it, and then 1 can of tomatoes. Okay, little mix. Now we're going to go for another 4 minutes, giving it a stir every now and then. Really super. Okay, 1 cup of cream. Like I said, I'm using thick or thin. It's all going to work out exactly the same. Don't worry about which one you use. And I didn't show you this earlier, but I've got a tablespoon here of some fresh Parmesan. I'm going to give that a mix just for 2 minutes, then I'll be back. Keep it moving all the time. That's lovely, really nice and creamy now. We've got the garlic in there. Beautiful vegetables. It's pasta time. So here, I'm going to go in with my pasta. I'm using fusilli. I'm going to give that a little mix in there for about 2 minutes, ready to serve. Okay, there you go. Job done. Nice and easy, nice quick, which I always call a midweek sort of pasta thing. Okay, so look, we're going to do this pasta today. It's vegetable pasta. I'm calling it naked. Basically, it doesn't have a cream sauce on it or a tomato sauce on it. Olive oil, parsley, garlic, any selection of veg you like. Really simple, delicious. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So you can use any selection of vegetables that you like. We'll have a look at what I'm using. But first, I'm using penne. Again, change the pasta if you want. I've got 4 cups of cooked penne pasta there. 2 cups here of mange tout and sugar snaps. There's a mixture in there of the two. Couple of cups of fresh mushrooms, couple of cups of tomatoes, 2 or 3 tablespoons of fresh parsley. If you want, change that to basil or something's nice. 2 teaspoons of garlic, half a cup of onion, and about a cup of bell peppers. Regarding the veg, you can really adjust it how you want, and like I say, use different stuff. Very, very simple. Let's get moving. So in this pan, I've got olive oil. I'm using olive oil for this. I think it's quite nice in there. About 4 tablespoons, because that's kind of going to be our sauce. Half a cup of onion. A couple of teaspoons of garlic. I'm going to add some salt and black pepper. Now if you want, you can get a kind of dried herb in there, like an oregano or something like that. That's up to you. We're going to get our mixture of sugar snaps. You see, that's the Mange 2, the thin one, and the thicker one is the sugar snaps. If you're going to use something like celery or something, get that in now as well, or carrots or something, you know, something hard, get it in. 3 minutes above medium heat. Going to drop in those bell peppers now. Those mushrooms, which I've sliced fairly thin. About another 3 minutes, stirring often. Let's drop that tomato in, the fresh tomato. Let's drop our pasta in. Like I say, I've got this amount of cooked penne. Gonna just break that down. Okay, capers, black olives, touch of chili. All very nice in this if you want. Simply, another 3 minutes, tossing this around. Pretty much done. Beautiful. Off goes the heat. Let's get that chopped parsley in there. Little mix, serve. Delicious. Now some people would put a little bit of parmesan in this. You could get some grated parmesan in there. Like I said, it's very, very versatile. I'm keeping this nice and veggie. Okay, there you go, nude, naked, in the nuddy. No sauce pasta, basically. Really delicious, simple and easy. I hope you enjoy that. Keep safe, keep well. See you soon. Lots of love. Nice, cheap, kind of budget recipe on the go today, and very easy to make as well. We're going to make a sausage, creamy tomato pasta. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, so look, you can see these three are roughly equal amounts, about 3 cups each. We've got canned tomatoes, tinned tomatoes. That was a whole plum tomato. I just roughly crushed that up with my hand. Pasta, I'm using penne. Use any pasta that you want. And sausage, again, any sausage you like. I've got some chicken franks here, but yeah, use beef, veg, turkey, fish, whatever you like, whatever kind of sausage you want. 1.5 cups there of onion, tablespoon of garlic, 2 teaspoons oregano, 2 teaspoons chili. Let's get moving. We're going to add a couple of other bits. So super easy. In this wok type pan that I have here, I've got some oil. I've got about 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using a sunflower. Use whatever you want. Let's get that onion in. And you can see I've cut my onion really small. You don't actually have to. Let's get the sliced garlic in there. On and above medium heat, fairly lively. And then we're going to go salt, black pepper, 3 minutes. Fabulous. Let's get our sausage in. And I've just cut mine in rings. I mean, you can chop it much smaller if you want. And the chili powder and oregano, or oregano as so many of you call that. And again, if you want, change that herb or spice to something that you like. And again, we're going to stay on this vibrant heat, and we're going to go for about another 3 or 4 minutes, stirring pretty much all of the time. Fabulous. Now we're going to go from above medium heat to below medium heat, and we're going to drop in that tomato. Canned tomato, like I say, that was a whole plum tomato. Crushed it with my hand. What we're going to do now is go for 5 to 6 minutes, below medium heat, give it a stir every now and then. We've pretty much done it. Okay, so you've got yourself a really lovely little sausage pasta sauce there. What I'm going to do, optional, is I'm going to get in 2 cups of grated cheese. Now I've got a mixture of cheese there, but you could just get some cheddar in there. You could get some Parmesan cheese in there. You could get some mozzarella in there, up to you what you want to put in. So we're just going to give that a little mix in. It's going to kind of make it a bit more sort of creamy. Then we're going to grab our pasta. We're going to get that in. And we're going to mix away. Now you could add quite a lot more pasta to this if you want. I'm being quite sort of stingy with the pasta. It's very saucy, this one. And let's just cook it for another 3 minutes. Stir in all the time just to heat up the pasta. And bring that cheese into the sauce. Job done. Delicious. And there you go, job done, nice and easy, budget friendly. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep safe, keep well. See you soon. Lots of love. Spaghetti, olive oil, butter, a little bit of garlic. That's beautiful, that is. Some Parmesan cheese. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, nothing to it, this one. So look, I've got a tablespoon of butter that I'm melting in there. And to that I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil. I've got some garlic here, but a tiny amount. You can see that it's just like a teaspoon. You don't want too much in there. We're going to go with salt and pepper to taste. And we're going to go just for about 2 minutes on a medium heat. So just a couple of minutes there just to cook that garlic. Next up, I've got 3 cups here of spaghetti. I mean, you could do a different pasta if you want. Cooked spaghetti. 3 more minutes, throwing it around in this lovely garlicky olive oil butter. Really beautiful. Off goes the heat. We're going to drop in about a tablespoon of chopped parsley, flat leaf parsley. You could use fresh basil if you want. And then I've got here 1/2 cup of fresh grated Parmesan. We're going to give that a little mix. You've done it. It's beautiful. It's simple. It's easy. It's delicious. Okay, and there you go. Like, just really, really simple. Very, very beautiful. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep safe. Keep well. See you soon. Bye. Garlic, tomatoes, onions, oregano, olives, spinach. Beautiful. Healthy. Vegetarian and vegan. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, so here's 1 can of tomatoes. When I say 1 can, I mean a regular size can, you know, that big, 400 ml usually. They were whole plum tomatoes, just mashed them up with my hand, crushed them down a little bit. In the center, pasta. Now, get your pasta ready because we're going to concentrate on the sauce rather than the pasta. I've got 3 cups there of penne pasta ready to go. You can use any pasta you want. I've got 3 cups of cooked spinach. That's a fresh spinach that I cooked. I'll show you a tiny little video about that just in a moment. 1 cup of onion, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, and here I've got some black olives, taking the stones out. I think I've got about 7 or 8 there. You can play around with that. Okay, let's get to the cooker. So you're going to need a wok like this, sort of woky thing, or a kind of skillet or something. In there I've got some olive oil, 2 tablespoons. Let's drop in the 1 cup of the onion and the tablespoon of garlic. Now I've just put the heat on and it's on medium. While I'm here, I'm going to add a nice big pinch of black pepper and salt, and I'm going to get those olives in now. Get them working straight away. Really simple, this one. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Okay, next up we're going to drop in the cooked spinach. About 3 cups here, quite a lot. And for about 4 or 5 minutes now, we're going to fry the spinach. I really want to kind of cook it and give it a little toasting even, you know, just don't want it just in there for a minute or so. I want to really give it a nice fry. See you then. Now the reason that I wanted to kind of give this an extra little fry is because it's freshly cooked and it's still retaining quite a lot of water. So I just want to kind of fry it a bit and get some of that water evaporated. Otherwise we're going to end up with quite a watery sauce, which I don't want. But really simply, we're going to add 1 can of tomatoes. This was a plum tomato, crushed it up with my hand. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. You could change that if you want to something else. Entirely up to you. Nice, lovely mix. Then we're going to turn the heat down, not to a simmer, but just above a simmer. We're going to let it go for about 5 minutes. This sauce really simply is done. There you go.